some garden prep, and I'm inviting all of you to join me today. Whoops, where's my camera going? Uh, Hi husband, is that you watching? Can you hear me fine? Hi. These are the cardboards that we used when we moved to this house, and I'm now using them for my garden. I already removed the tape on these cardboards, so they're ready to be placed in my garden. Let's see if I have a chat. Nope, I don't have a chat, but I have 2 viewers listed here. Hello, welcome to the live stream. Happy Saturday. How are you all doing on this beautiful Saturday? Hi. All right, I'll take you guys to my garden. Hello, Luke. Happy Saturday. Are you also here in the United States? So I'm from Washington State, and it's beautiful today here in the western side of Washington. All right, so welcome to my garden. Not really looking fabulous currently because it's currently a diamond in the rough, yeah. So I just decided to hang out with you guys. Oh, hello, California. So we're in the same time zone. Hi. That's nice. Maybe one of these days I'm gonna visit California. I'm gonna be going back and forth because I'm gonna be getting the cardboard from my garage and then lay them here in my garden. Oh shoot, my shoe. Anyway, so I ordered wood chips from Chip Drop. It's free of charge. So I placed the order on September 9th. It got delivered 2 days ago. And it's placed outside our drive, like in our driveway. So that's why I need to my garden because it's taking up space there in front of our house. And it's a lot of wood chips. So it is true, it's not a scam. I've learned about it from Anne of all trades, because she's actually is the one that inspired me to do a lazy gardener's garden, like a no dig no till garden. So okay, for those of you who don't know, so or haven't seen my other videos, so anyway, so this is my garden. As you can see, it's very ugly. Previously, this area here used to be like a dog run for the previous owner of this property, and when we moved here, then I got small kids and then I got pregnant. I did not really bother cleaning here, but I've always had a plan of converting this here as a garden. But then I didn't realize how enormous the task is ahead of me until I finally came out here and then I battled the blackberries, which I still have to remove the rhizomes. And oh Daniel, that's actually not a nice comment. Anyway, so what happened was so yeah, and then the problem is the area is not leveled, so there are some like high spots and then low spots, and my husband and I were considering of like going to Home Depot and get a or rent a rototiller or something like that, and we're even considering of like hiring some help, but I thought this will be my project, so I'm doing it by myself, and I've decided that I'm just gonna dump some wood chips here, suffocate the weeds that way, and then of course use the cardboard, and but it's a lot of work, but so far we're doing, I think we're doing fine. Let me flip the camera so you can see, guys. Oh, hi Mario, hello, welcome to the live stream. Oh, there we go. So yesterday was I think I've had 20,000 steps yesterday. So I transferred these wood chips. These wood chips were from, you know, that delivery in front of our house. It's like right over there, and I transferred them here. So far so good. And then now my goal is to lay those cardboards and transfer them here, and then haul again some wood chips. So yeah, that's our progress currently. Looking nice in here now, but as you can see, there's a lot of weeds, weed. And then this is the area that I was that I mentioned earlier, that's like the low spot. So we got plans for that area. When the wood chips that I ordered, I put there that I'm okay with a few logs here and there. But I did not expect that the logs are massive, like they're massive logs. I'm gonna show you later how they look. And I don't have a wood splitter, so my husband said he's just gonna roll them here and put that in that lower spot over there of the garden. But good luck to us, it's very heavy. And yeah, so how are you all doing? What are you doing in this beautiful Saturday? So I'm just gonna hold on, I'm just gonna be doing my work here. If you have questions for me, let me know. yeah, I'm just overlapping the cardboard currently. Hi Irene, hello. Thank you for watching. Are you also here in the United States? And are you also married to an American? I'm from Washington State. It's beautiful today here in Washington. Okay, so I like this question. How do you like the US? Overrated? So, my honest opinion is I love it here in the United States. I know currently there have been lots of issues about the country going on. People are squealing. I've seen videos, people are squealing about the high cost of living here in the United States, the absence of jobs. There's a lot of people not finding jobs recently. But actually, I think it's not just the US that's facing that. Philippines is also, or other countries are also facing that kind of issue. And I'm, hey Teddy! Hello Teddy! Our neighbor's dog is like barking at me. Anyway, so I'm from the Philippines. I I I grew up in the rural area of the Philippines. My parents were farmers, so I know what hard life is. I grew up with nothing, pretty much nothing. Yeah, our house was like a tiny little house, and my parents were farming the land that we don't own. So life growing up was hard. So if I compared that to the life here in the US, I was like, yeah, that's when you can like put things into perspective if you live the two countries. And I would say US is still way better than the Philippines. Recently I visited the country, which I haven't visited for over 5 years, and I was shocked how my hometown, especially the city, the Cebu city, has deteriorated in just 5 years. The traffic was so bad. Yeah, the traffic was so bad. And then of course recently the corruption has been exposed to the public, wherein there are lots of ghost projects and the flooding. I was stuck in the mall because there was a heavy rain for like 2 hours, and that's all it took for us to get trapped because the drainage couldn't handle the water. So it was so bad. um yeah, but here I love it here. We are living in the countryside, but it's just 45 minutes to an hour if the traffic is bad. If, for example, we want to go to the city, go to the mall, or visit some places in the city and all that. And then the place that we live here somewhat reminds me of my like life in the countryside in the Philippines, because I can smell the cow dung. There's farms around me. If I want fresh eggs, I can buy fresh eggs from neighbors. So yeah, so that's why, that's like kind of the message that I wanna tell to everybody, that if you want the kind of life in the Philippines, the laid back, simple kind of life, you can actually have that kind of life here in the US. US is massive, and and especially, I've realized that it's actually cheaper here in the US in terms of like buying land, if you are willing to live in the remote area here in the US. So yeah, you can like, yeah, I've been following videos about these homesteaders or people living off grid. If that's kind of life you wanna have here in the US, you can do that easily, and I think cheaper compared to if you're gonna have that in the Philippines. Because number one, you're in the Philippines, you're gonna be facing logistics. Number two, the supplies. Unlike here in the US, you have Amazon. Like, you can buy anything. If you need something, you can run to Home Depot, and the tools that you would need, it's right there, you can grab it. In the Philippines, you would need to wait for, oh boy, weeks or even months to get the tools that you would need for your homestead, or around your house. So yeah, but yes, if you are somebody who I would say like if you are like retired and you just wanna, you know, live and, you know, eat, sleep, and just live a very simple life, and you know, I don't know, I don't want to offend everybody, but I'm just saying, yeah, you can do it cheaper in the Philippines. You want to like live in a small house and all that. And but if you're moving to the Philippines, but you want to have the kind of life that you have here in the US, wherein like you have a nice house, a climate controlled house, it could get expensive. Electricity in the Philippines is more expensive compared to the electricity here in the US. Yeah. And another thing as well that I love about here in the US is the national parks. Oh my gosh. So right now, our youngest is still 17 months old, so we cannot do camping really or long trips. But the family goal is to be able to explore the wilderness of North America, and I'm very excited about that. And America has a lot to offer, and with just your vehicle. In the Philippines, it would be challenging, especially if you live in my area in the Visayas, because Philippines is an archipelago. If you want to like visit other areas, you would need to hop on a ferry or things like that. Or another issue in the Philippines is not like here in the US where there's like an established logging roads, so you can really access the wilderness with your, you know, overlanding vehicle, because you have your the road like established road. In the Philippines, no, it would there would be overlanding areas, but I think it's more in the Luzon part of the Philippines, which I am not in the Luzon part. My family is in like Cebu, and like, so yeah, I love it here as a Filipina. I love it here in the US, although the winter at first was like, you know, coming from a tropical country, and especially here in the western Washington, during winter, it rains a lot here. And that's why like when you go, we need to go to the grocery store, it's challenge because like it's wet and it's cold, and you know, hauling your groceries inside your house, that was a challenge, especially back then when we were still living in an apartment, when we don't have a garage. But if you have a garage, you can just, you know, park your car inside your garage, and you know, and you're not wet hauling your groceries. So yeah. I rambled a lot, Luke. So your wife is from Leyte, so we will be, yeah, we speak the same. Oh, hold on. Probably your wife is, I think most part of Leyte, their dialect there is Waray-Waray. And I am Cebuano, so Cebu Bisaya, but I think she understands Bisaya as well. So should be here by May or so. Oh, that's exciting. That's exciting. Um, so I am planning to make a video of what to expect on your first year here in the US. So I'm planning to film that after I'm done hauling my the wood chips, because I'm up against time here with my wood chips. So I'm gonna prioritize that, but after that I'm gonna film that video because I wanna give insights to the Filipinas who are planning to move to the US, so they can better prepare, or you know, set their expectations, because sometimes it's just a matter of like what you set your expectations to. Some people, I've heard there's some people who get depressed or get so sad about, like, you know, the life that they got when they moved to the US. For me, it's because their mindset was not right when they moved to the US. So that's why I'm hoping that the video that I'm gonna be making would help them prepare mentally, because I know part of part of the issue there is like, oh, I'm sitting now. What happened to your work, Arlene? You're now yapping. Anyway, so part of the issue here is like when you're moving to a new country, you have that excitement. All your people were thinking, oh, God is like God is so good, God will take care of me. But here, yes, that is true, God is good, God will take care of us. But we also have to do our part. We have to we have to prepare and plan, you know, about like what's gonna be the kind of life here. So my video, I hope, would help those Filipinas who would be settling here in the US. So yeah, I am excited to share my my experience, my 1 year here, my first year in the US. Although I'm coming up on my 6th year now here living in the US, and so far life is good. Life has been great, and we're very grateful to God, our Lord Jesus Christ, about it. And oh yeah, speaking of God, that's what I have realized as well with a recent happening, which I know all of you know what I'm referring to, that I need to speak more about my faith, and I would like to use my platform to yeah, to share with you my faith with my Lord Jesus Christ, my Savior. So that's the goal of this channel. So I'm just a simple Filipina living a simple life here in the US. If you have questions for me, I'm willing to answer that. Oh, I'm also thinking of a video. Although I have made a video about this in the past, about like landing a job here in the US, but probably I'm gonna make a new one. And also I'm also thinking of like sharing my discoveries about like you know, around financial education, so that I think your Filipina might be interested to learn as well, especially 401, you know, 401k, Roth IRA, things like that, because these things are not we don't have that in the Philippines. So maybe your Filipina would appreciate that kind of topic. Let me know. And also, you know, the beauty of HSA, and like, you know, how can you like, yeah, what's the benefit of having an HSA account. So things that I have learned from the net, and I'm willing to share with that all of you here. Mine is Horay. Yeah, when I was in college, one of my classmates was from Leyte, and because he doesn't speak Cebuano, when he talked to us, he would use the national language of the Philippines, which is Tagalog. So yeah, he would speak Tagalog to us because he was more comfortable talking in Tagalog than in Cebuano. Although I think Waray is somewhat yeah, Waray is somewhat the same with Cebuano, but I think only a little, like few terms. Yeah, a few terms that we share the same, because Waray is still a Bisaya language, so which is Visayas, part of the Philippines. Yes, a lot to learn. And like my husband would said, before I came here, my husband told me, you would be significantly what was that, a radically different person just by living with me. That is true, because I learned a lot from my husband. Before I think people have I think I've seen one comments that people were like, there are some people calling Filipinos that they feel like Americans, they feel like Filipinos are like living in their own bubble, you know. They're just like enjoying their little world, and they're like not expanding. You know what? That is absolutely true for me, and I think for the most part of the Filipinos, because we're not really like me. I'm a professional. I'm a certified public accountant. Yeah, I have a bachelor's degree, but to tell you honestly, my knowledge is just that, around my profession and around my life. And before, back then, I was just focused about like how to make my family happy, how to make my parents happy and proud of me, and then, you know, taking care of my family, and making sure that I have finances to support my brother to school. So I'm just like so focused of my little world. You know. And then of course my job, focusing on that. Then I came here in the US, and then, oh boy, there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot to learn and a lot to appreciate. Look at my hair, guys, because I'm doing it like this because my hair is too long, and it's getting in the way. So So yeah, and I've been blessed that I have a husband who loves learning, so I'm learning as well, and it's really nice. And yeah, I learned how to drive. Before, I'm so scared of driving in the freeway. Uh, that's funny. It's beautiful. I love it here in the US. Oh, people. There are people who are saying, oh, it's nice in the Philippines is way better in than the US, because in the Philippines, the food is way better and all that. And actually, I reflected on that, and I was like, yes, that is true. Especially me and my family. Growing up in the Philippines, we don't have money to go to the mall and buy those processed foods. Where honestly, growing up, we thought that if we a hot dog, for example, it's like a food for the rich. Like if you, like when I go to school before, and I have classmates who have packed hot dogs for lunch, or spam, we're like, oh, she's rich because her lunch is like that. So yeah, those the processed foods in the Philippines, we consider that for only food for the rich who can like look, who can buy those. But then now growing up, people think, you know what, the kind of like the food that we were eating were actually the good ones, the real food, you know, the whole food. and and there's no stopping for Americans to have that kind of lifestyle as well, honestly. Although yes, the convenience is there. If you go to the grocery store, it's accessible to you. But if you don't want that, you can actually still eat the kind of food that you know, the whole food. So like me, I I'm busy. I'm a 100%, or I'm a full-time working mom, and I have two kids, but I always make time to cook. Although yes, honestly, there are some times when I'm like, just, you know, I'm just too busy, I cannot cook. But as much as possible, I love to cook for like whole food for my family. I don't like to like give them lots of processed foods, you know, cereals, those kind of thing. No. And then when you are like in that kind of mindset, and you have that intention, for some reason, when you like when you go to your like YouTube, you will be feed with like videos or people that are having the lifestyle that you want. So that's how I learned. Like right now, I'm baking my sourdough bread, or yeah, making my own dinner rolls. Instead of buying bread from store, I'm making it myself. Although I'm not yet milling my own flour, but I'm making my own food, you know, my own food for my family, which just like how my parents did back in the Philippines. Although yes, I don't, here in the US, I don't have access to fresh saltwater fish, which I would have really wanted, but too bad. We don't have that here, because you know, it tastes so good. The fresh saltwater fish, for example, tuna, marlin, you know, those kind of fish, oh my god, it tastes so good, like the soup of that thing. Oh, but here in the US, so that's why I'm now growing my own garden. So I'm preparing this so that I can harvest my own garden, because right now, if I miss like tropical vegetables, I have to go to the Filipino store to grab those vegetables. And so that's why it would be nice if I have it here, or like if I need an herb or something, and I have an herb garden, for example, and like raspberries, strawberries. I have grapes growing, I have strawberries, and then I talked to my neighbor a few days ago. I asked him if he could give me some of his raspberry runners, and he said, knock yourself out. So that's also, once it start raining here in Washington, I'm gonna be transplanting some of his raspberry runners to my property here. I have already a few runners growing, but it would be nice to have more so I can make my own jams, and I'm gonna be, so yeah, I'm just so excited making my own pickles. So yeah, by the way, with pickles, so my husband and I, we love pickles, and I forget the brand that I like. And then when I look at it on the brand, it says the number one ingredient, I think, was, or the second ingredient was like high fructose corn syrup. And I was like, this was the ingredients that the doctors that I've been following on YouTube are saying that stay away from that. That's really bad for you. So I was like, yeah, that's why. Hopefully, next year I'm gonna be making my own pickles and lettuce from my garden, for example. So I'm just yeah, just so excited. So what I'm trying to say is, if you want that kind of lifestyle, you don't have to patronize the ultra processed foods in the grocery, although it would take you a while to, you know, prepare the yummy food for your family. But if that's something that you want to do and you're willing to do, then you can still do that here in the US. Yeah. So let's read some comments. Mine has failed her driving test 2 times. She has 1 chance left at the end of this month, and the state will force driving lesson. Oh, about the driving. Actually, my I passed the written exam on the first attempt, and then I passed the driving test on my first attempt. But my grade on my driving test was 82. Yeah, 82, and I think the passing is 80. So but at least I passed. I think she failed because she was just overwhelmed with her like, you know, the anxiety, the fear of like, what if, what if, what if, what if. So I think my advice for her on her next attempt is that to be like, to before she goes and meet the what do you call that, the instructor or the test, someone who would facilitate it, that she calms herself fully and just like say a prayer to the Lord and tell the Lord that to, you know, guide her, and just, you know, just of course she needs to do her part to practice and practice and practice, but then at the time of practice, do not overthink it, like to let it go and just say God, like, hey God, I've did my part already, I've did my best, and now I'm gonna do my road test. I'm gonna trust everything to you, that you're gonna trust my hands, trust my brain, my sight, everything, my senses, and help me to be fully present on the task ahead of me. And, you know, bless me with the reflexes that I can you know, I can do the right maneuver at the right time. So because yeah, I think that was the reason with your husband, I mean with your wife, because honestly I have that kind of feeling even with just my husband as my passenger. In fact, I am more conscious, like super conscious, when my husband is my passenger over when the actual person from the DMV was like on me for my road test. Because my husband is super strict and super perfectionist, and I noticed that whenever I'm super conscious, that I'm so worried that I make a mistake, that I'm making more mistakes. So yeah. So when she goes and do her last chance, don't even think that this is my last chance, because she's gonna be super conscious then. If she would be thinking, oh my god, this is my last try, so what if, for example, if you fail, then you're gonna do a driving test and you've done it, I mean the written test, and you've done it before, you don't even have to study again. And so what, how much is that? It's not expensive. So she will pass it. I am 410, and if I was able to pass a road test, she would be able to pass one too. Okay. I let my wife drive a rental in the Philippines. I've had, well, if you're in the rural area in the Philippines, yes, I would probably drive a car, but not in my lifetime in the city. No, I'm not gonna drive a car in the city. Like when we visited Cebu almost 2 months ago. Wow, I was shocked that in the four-way road, no, people were not following the rules. People were just like, whoever gets to pass first will get past first. So, and then there's lots of motorcycles. No, I don't want to drive in the Philippines. Oh, wow, yeah, lemongrass. Exactly. Lemongrass is, so if you're a Filipina, these are the common herbs or spices that you're using. Lemongrass, ginger, and then malunggay. But it's too bad we don't have malunggay leaves here. So I salute her for growing lemongrass. I have grown lemongrass before, but I made a mistake of letting it stay outside in the winter, and it did not survive the winter. I need to plant lemongrass again. Oh, if I remember right, Eric, I think you're in Arkansas, right? Or somewhere there? I forgot what state you're from. Is it like sunny there, or like can lemongrass survive in the winter in your state? Because here in Washington, there's no chance that it'll survive the winter. So I need to grow, if I am growing lemongrass again, I need to grow it in a pot and then take it inside during winter. Currently, I have 2 malunggay plant growing. So they're like about 2 inches high now. Hopefully they'll survive because malunggay is a super plant and it's got tons of benefits, health benefits, and I love it for my vegetable soup. My wife needs more than a prayer. Ah, but she did a rolling stop. He told her that she did it again. Oh, okay. So yeah, the rolling stop is a no-no. So, oh, and also, which reminds me, when you're doing your test, you really need to make it super obvious that you are checking your mirror, so that the instructor is able to like can really see you checking your mirror. So you kind of like exaggerate it, although you're not really doing it like when you're like driving by yourself, like exaggerate, but when you're doing the test, you need to exaggerate it, that you are really looking left and right before doing or merging into the road. So yeah, tell her that she needs to exaggerate her, like checking her cameras before merging into the road. So yeah, rolling stop is a no-no. And then of course using the turn signals when you turn, so that's another one too. Like the instructor would say, okay, at the next light turn right, so she better although like she's like, oh okay, next right, and she forgot to like use her blinkers and all that. So she need to remember to use that. And then of course before you change the lane, you need to exaggerate that you're checking your that there's no car, even though especially for the newer model cars, that you know the side mirror will have a light if it's not safe to change lane. Don't rely just on that, or just rely because you know when you're driving, you're just looking like that and you're just looking at that light on the side mirror. And then but if you're on the road test, you need to exaggerate that you're really looking and checking, and not just relying. Or if you're, because you know, if new vehicle is now equipped with 360 camera, don't just rely on your the cameras on your dashboard. So I'm not sure currently if DMV is allowing people now to use their own vehicle, because back in 2020 when I did mine, it was, of course it was COVID, so I was not allowed to use our own car for the road test. I need to use their car for the road test. Yeah, I think she will be fine too. Yeah, I was surprised about that too, that Indians love the malunggay leaves. And I haven't heard of oh, I mean, I don't know of any Indian store near me. And every time I go to the Filipino store, I couldn't find the malunggay leaves. And if I find one, they're already wilted. And in the Philippines, or in my dialect, we call it lanos. Lanos na kamunggay. And it tastes bad. So I couldn't find a fresh one, so I'm growing it now. So hopefully I'll be successful. I would need to buy some grow lights though. Yeah, I think I need to buy some grow lights, especially for the winter. Currently, they're sitting on my windowsill, but I don't think it's gonna be enough, especially when they grow taller. Although I started to do my research, and I'm just trying to see if they can be trained to be cold hardy. And according to my few minutes of reading on the internet, you can actually try to make it cold hardy. And when it's like, you know, before the first frost, you need to like cut it down to about 2 feet, and then you need to corral it and then put lots of mulch around it to protect it from the frost. And they said that way the malunggay tree will survive the winter outside. So probably I will do that experiment, but not now with my two precious malunggay plants. I tried to germinate 5 seeds, but I was only successful with 2. The 3 years, I don't think that 3 seeds that are not yet germinated, that they would be that eventually sprout. I don't think they're gonna sprout. So anyway. Oh, Missouri! Oh, okay, Missouri. There's actually a Filipina YouTuber in Missouri. I don't know where in Missouri, but she shared that she's living near the Amish community. So I don't know which part of Missouri is that. She has a garden, and I love watching her videos, harvesting potatoes, you know, peppers and all that from her garden in Missouri. Whoa, okay, stop signs in the US are only such. No. In the US, are you say probably you're saying the Philippines, but here in the US, no, I strictly follow stop signs. Yeah, she knows all the looks now. Okay, good. I think she will pass the parallel park, has a lot of practice. I think even if like, I don't know if I passed my parallel park. Maybe I failed that one. That's why my grade was 82. That's why people, when they're practicing for the road test, they're so stressed about parallel park. But I think parallel park is only 2 points, and if you don't get that, or for example you missed it, the examiner will give you one point, so you would still pass, I think. So yeah, 80 is a passing grade. I got 82. Oh, hot and humid in there. Okay. So yeah, I think Filipino vegetables would love it there, because Philippines is also hot and humid. Oh yeah, that's right. I need the vegetables that I'm also planning to plant here are string beans. We call it batong in my dialect. In Tagalog, we call it sitaw. Another is I'm gonna grow okra. I'm gonna grow kalabasa in my dialect, which is squash, and I'm gonna grow eggplant and bitter gourd. Um, and what are the yeah, those are the then of course I'm gonna try to grow some lemongrass, because I love lemongrass in my dish. And oh, I think I'm gonna try also to make some, to plant some, of course, like I said, the cucumbers, and then what do you call it, the ones for the tinulang manok, oh, I forget the name now. But yeah, that's on my plan. I have a big area here, but so what time is it now? It's 2:30, and this part is no longer sunny. But I think when the sun gets up to like around 3-4, it gets sunny again in here. But anyway, I've been yapping, and what happened to my task now? I'm gonna go back to my task. You can still comment here. I will visit with you guys again. Oh, malunggay pandesal. Oh, yes. In the Philippines, I'm yapping again and I need to work. In the Philippines, around 5 to 6 a.m. we call it painit. So basically that's a time when we have our coffee, and we like to pair it with pandesal. So this is the typical Filipino diet. So in the morning when we wake up, 5 to 6 a.m. is we call it pamainit. So init is warm, so to warm up your belly. So we drink coffee and then we pair it with pandesal. And it's kind of awkward is we dunk the pandesal into the hot beverage of your choice. It could be a hot choco, coffee, cocoa, or what have you. You dunk it there and then you eat your pandesal that way. It tastes so good. So, and then so that's your pamainit, and then around 8 a.m. that's when you eat your breakfast. And Filipino breakfast is typically rice. rice and eggs. So fried rice with eggs, and then we sometimes even eat our dried fish in the breakfast. Oh, it smells so, I can imagine that it smells so good. Dried fish, rice, fried rice, and egg sunny side up, and then some tomatoes on the side. Oh, that's so good. That's breakfast. And then some Filipinos would have snack around 10 to 10:30 a.m. So snacks around that time would probably juice and bread again, juice and bread. And then around 12 to 1 is the lunch. So lunch would be rice and soup. It could be fish soup or pork soup, something like that. And then around 3 to 4 is afternoon snacks. For our afternoon snacks, typically it's like the banana fritter. So in the Philippines we call it banana Q. So I think here in the US it's called fritter, you know, the apple fritter you guys have. So we have that kind of version again. In the in my part of the Philippines we call it pinaypay, and then we pair it with juice as well. And then around 6 to 7 p.m. is the dinner time. So dinner time is again another rice, or then we pair it with pork or what do you call this, lechon manok, which is chicken, you know, a rotisserie chicken. Or we cook pork with you know, carrots and potatoes, and we call it afritada, something like that. Or if we have leftover from lunch, you know, the pork soup and the the fish soup, we can also have that for dinner. And that's that. And then Filipinos go to bed. Some Filipinos will wake up for midnight snack. We don't do that. I was like that back in the Philippines. Like we have pamainit and all those, you know, and I was working, we stopped for snack, and then in the afternoon we asked somebody from our team would go outside and buy snacks for us, and like eating. But then I found out one of my learnings about, you know, living here in America, it's actually not good. Because you are not, by eating constantly, like munching constantly, you're not giving your body the chance to heal. So that's why I taught myself to intermittent fasting, and I actually advocate this. So before, I used to have like a bad allergy, like my face were covered with acne, super bad acne. Because of the diet, you know, lots of like oily stuff and all that. And then when I met my husband told me that oh, try intermittent fasting, because like I went to the derma, it did not help. So I stayed away from chicken, because I noticed that whenever I eat chicken it would flare up. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like in the morning when I look at myself in the mirror, I would cry, because like, you know, after waking up in the morning, like I would see pus coming out of my face and like blood, because you know, when you're sleeping it's probably itchy, you will be scratching it in your sleep. When I woke up, there would be like blood. And when my mom first saw me with, you know, with my face covered in acne, she cried. She teared up, because she was, yeah, she felt bad of my face. But then I changed my diet, and then when I moved here in the US, I did the intermittent fasting, and that somehow helped me reset my gut. Because these, you know, that kind of thing that's like going on, you know, acid. And back then I really have a bad acid reflux, and like I would like sometimes I thought, like, I don't know what was the term of that, like, and then my blood sugar was not good, because there were times when I feel like I'm fainting. And so but the intermittent fasting helped me with that. And then when I did the intermittent, and then I got pregnant, and then I think that's also helped me. The intermittent fasting also helped me to get pregnant. And then after my 2 kids, I blew up to 140 pounds, and then I felt like my back is aching, and it's so difficult to get up, you know, from laying down in the bed. So, and I told my husband I need to do intermittent fasting, and now I'm back to my pre-pregnancy weight. which is actually when I moved here I was 110 pounds, and now I'm 106 pounds. Although my belly area still needs still needs lots of work, because you know when you get pregnant your belly, you know, expands, and I think I have a really bad diastasis recti. I need to heal my diastasis recti. But I all in all, I'm happy. I felt lighter now, a lot lighter, you know, compared to 140, of course. It's easy on my knees now. My back is no longer like hurting, although with the things that I've been doing lately, yes, my back is hurting, but not as bad when I used to weigh 140 pounds, and intermittent fasting helped me a lot. And my favorite YouTuber that I watch about intermittent fasting is Dr. Mindy Pels, and the other one is Dr. Jason Fung. James Fung? Jason Fung. Yeah, and so yeah, they talk about intermittent fasting. When my husband told me about intermittent fasting before, I was like, no, I don't think I can do that. I would die if I don't eat 3 times a day, because in the Philippines, in the Filipinos, we have this word pasmo. Pasmo is when we cannot skip a meal, because if we skip a meal, you will have pasmo. And if you will have pasmo, that means you will have headache, you'll have stomach ache, you'll be throwing up, or you're gonna get a fever. And we're so scared to have pasmo. That's why you cannot skip a meal. I'm not even telling my parents that I'm doing intermittent fasting, because if I tell them that I'm doing intermittent fasting, they're gonna freak out. They're gonna be like, no, they're gonna be hounding at me, and like, you cannot skip your meal, you need to eat food, blah, blah, blah. Even if like it has helped me. So my fasting period, oh, is like about 18 to 20 hours now. So so for if I'm doing 18, so my eating window is 6 hours. That's still a lot of time to eat. So yeah, I've been yapping, guys. And what happened to my project here? Anyway, yeah, we are up at 5. She has to be at work by 6. Mine just cooked dried fish outside. When she first got here, she made it in the house. Took 2 weeks for yeah, my husband hates the smell of dried fish too. I tried cooking that in when we were living in the apartment, and he got so mad. He was super mad when I cooked the dried fish in the apartment. My husband was like, now we're not gonna be able to get our deposit now, because the house is, I mean, the apartment is stinky. Did you know that smell will stick to the cabinets and everything here in the house? Well, I got a scolding for doing that. So when we moved here in our house, I never cooked dried fish. I always cooked that outside. But yes, for some reason I like cooking dried fish when it's like beautiful out like this, like a sunny day, because it reminds me of Philippines. Like it feels like Philippines. And so yeah, I have dried fish in my freezer. Got some saltwater fish that I got from Saltwater City. Oh, Seafood City, Saltwater City, Seafood City. Saltwater City is a different store. When she first got here, she made it in a, okay, my neighbor. I can always tell when they're cooking dried fish. Yeah, my husband was, yeah, my husband was not happy about it. But guess what, guys? We got our deposit back. I think our deposit for that apartment was $2,000. Yeah. And we got all of that back. So, woohoo, woohoo for me. But I've never done it again. Milkfish. For some reason, I used to eat milkfish. Okay, when I was in a rural area before I went to college, I used to eat milkfish, and then I had a friend. I made a friend in college, and then she became my best friend, and then we lived together in an apartment, and she doesn't like milkfish, and she told me, Ars, my friends call me Ars, why are you eating milkfish? It's gross, because you know what they feed the milkfish with? They feed it with chicken poop. That's what she said, because she said she saw it like in one of their neighbors before had a farm, milkfish farm, and that's what they feed the milkfish. That's why, didn't you notice that like in the belly area of the milkfish, like when you're not like, when even if it's like fully cooked and you season it, you can still like smell something foul. And for some reason, every time I eat milkfish now, I remember what she told me, and then I don't know. For some reason, like I smell something not nice about milkfish, so I don't eat milkfish anymore. But I used to love that, especially like you slice the milkfish and you remove all the little bones, and then you stuff it with your tomatoes, onions, pepper, and you see ginger and all that. You season it real good, and then you seal it with a foil, and then you put it on top of a coal. You, what do you call that? What's not roast? Yeah, you, is that how you, is that roasting? Yeah, because in the Philippines we sugba, sinugbang bangus. So yeah, I used to love that. And then when you're eating it, then you dip it with vinegar and soy sauce. Oh, it's so good. But I don't know, for some reason I cannot get myself to eat milkfish anymore. Too bad. I won't touch it. Probably those milkfish are not fed with chicken poop, but what about those nasty small snails they eat from the river? They kick it with, oh, suso. So that one is called suso. I haven't eaten that one too. My grandmother loved to eat that, and it's actually tastes good. The snails, what I don't like about the snails is the little snails, because you have to like use your safety pin and to get the little meat inside the snail, and then I don't like it when like you grab your rice and then you like that. It takes a while for the meat to come out, so it's like my appetite is gone now. But yes, I like the coconut milk. Actually, anything with coconut milk tastes good. Coconut, you do mung beans with coconut milk, that's yummy. You do put milk, pork, and then you put coconut milk, it's yummy. Squash and some string beans and some, oh, we call this shrimp. Oh, it's so yummy. Coconut milk makes everything yummy. So I love anything with coconut milk. But I don't like the little snails. Like you have to, remove the little thing. Oh, actually, it's healthy. The snails, I think they're healthy. Hi, life's journey. Hello, welcome to the live stream. So yeah, I'm gonna get up, guys, and lay some more cardboard. And because I have been yapping here. What happened to my project? It is healthy. That's the thing that I always tell about my husband whenever it's like, oh, that saltwater fish again, and I'm like, no, you know what? It's very healthy. And then I cook mung beans. Oh, I don't like mung beans. I'm like, this is healthy. That's all. And then my husband's like, I don't care if it's healthy. I still love my pizza. Oh, hello. I haven't visited your channel. Maybe later I'll try to visit your channel. Are you also here in the US? Thanks for watching. Yeah, it's nice talking to you too, Eric. Thanks for hanging out. Your husband. I love how straightforward he is. Yeah, in Missouri I've been to Philippines twice now. Love it. That's cool. So, oh, you're also from Missouri like Eric. Is it also sunny out there today in Missouri? Hi. So yeah, guys, I'm just chipping some of the task or the work that I need to do here. So yeah, there's a lot of people who doesn't like how straightforward my husband is. But actually, if you take away the emotions and just listen to what he said, he's actually in the right. But who cares? Anyway, guys, let's go get some more wood chips. I like my gloves. This is my gloves. Let's go to the front of the house. Let's grab some wood chips. Ooh, it's gonna help you guys. You're the wheelbarrow. I'm so crazy. Why would I do that? Ooh, there we go. How long have I been live? Oh, I've been live for over an hour. Oh my goodness. Oops. Camera. Uh-oh. Oh, looks like my... There we go. Oh, that's fun. Enjoy. And have a great day. Alright, let's flip the camera. I'll show you the mulch that I'm working on. So, this is the big mulch delivery that I had from Chip Drop. It's free of charge. Paalam. See you next time. Hold on. My cameras. I don't want to show anything important. I don't want to dox myself, guys. Anyway. Alright. Let me put you guys over here. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna go get my wheelbarrow. Let's go to the garden again. There you go. guys. It's a little bumpy. Alright. We're back in my garden. Anyway. Hello, hello. Welcome to the live stream. Alright. That's the cardboard that I laid down. We're gonna dump the wood chips there. Alright, let's do a check. What time is it? It's 3 o'clock and I now have 7,000 steps. Woohoo. I think I need to take you guys with me. I remove and then yeah, I think that would work. Exactly. I'm just gonna do like that so I can take you guys wherever I go. So hello 3 viewers. Welcome to my live stream. I'm putting you all now inside the bucket. I have 61% battery life, so I think we're good. Yesterday I had 20,000 steps. just by hauling these wood chips into my garden. Oh my god, there's a wasp. A wasp landed on my phone. Ew. Ew. Let me flip the camera so you can see the wood chip. There we go. That's my wood chips, guys. And I need to. Let's flip it again. And let's put it over here. Oops. So I'm using this buckets because I cannot get my wheelbarrow into my garden area. So I just wheel the wheelbarrow like outside my garden area and then walk the